You are listening to an Audio Box original story. Please like and subscribe, and I will create more stories for your listening pleasure.
The Bathhouse Chapter 11. The Secrets Remain. The transition was seamless, like a jump cut in a film. One moment, Glia was standing in the humid, sandalwood-scented air of the bathhouse, looking into Rayon's emerald eyes. The next, she was behind the wheel of her Mini Cooper, the tires humming against a cracked asphalt road that wound through a sleepy rural valley. The morning sun was a pale disk behind a veil of mountain mist. Glia blinked as her hands were gripping the steering wheel. Her mind was a kaleidoscope of Ming's face, the ambitious seed and the scent of medicinal herbs, but the mechanics of how she had left the bathhouse and moved Rayon to the car were gone. It was as if the mountain had simply exhaled them back into the world. Beside her, Rayon stirred. He sat up with a fluid grace that shouldn't have been possible for a man who had been gutted by a high-caliber round only hours before. He looked at his hands, then pulled up his tactical shirt. He stared at the faint silver line on his ribs where the wound had been. "Glia?" His voice was clear, resonant, and devoid of the savage rasp. "What happened? I remember the cottage. I remember the red light in the cellar. And then nothing. Just a dream about a blue field." He looked out the window at the passing rice paddies and the weathered wooden houses of a remote town. "How am I healed? I feel like I've been rebuilt from the inside out." Glia opened her mouth to tell him about Ming. She wanted to tell him about the steam that breathed and the woman who spoke in fables. But as the words reached her throat, a cold spike of intuition, a premonition, slammed into her mind. "Don't." It wasn't a voice. It was a feeling of absolute certainty. The bathhouse was a sanctuary that stayed hidden only if its secrets were kept. To speak of it was to draw Kane's eyes toward the mountain. "The serum," Glia said, her voice steady despite the lie. "The ghost's formula, the CX44. It must have had a regenerative stabilizer we didn't account for. You went into a shock trance, and your body accelerated the healing process while I drove." Rayon ran a hand over his side, a look of profound amazement on his face. "It's more than just healing. The noise in my head, it's a whisper now. I can control it." He looked at her, his gaze intense. "Where are we?" "A place Kane doesn't know exists," Glia said, turning the car onto a narrow dirt path overgrown with wildflowers. "My mother's family kept a cabin out here, near the edge of the old prefecture. She used to bring me here when the factory got too loud. It's remote, it's rural, and it's off the purgatory grid." They pulled up to a small, weathered structure tucked behind a curtain of weeping willow trees. It was a humble place of gray wood and stone, worlds away from the glass and steel of Factory 9. Rayon stepped out of the car, breathing in the crisp mountain air. He looked like a man who had been reborn, his posture tall and his eyes sharp. She had good taste. "Your mother." Glia watched him, the weight of the secret bathhouse sitting heavy in her chest. She remembered the warmth of his hand in her dream and the way Ming had looked at her. She was the vessel now, and the cabin was the only place left where they could plan their war before the ambitious seed finally broke through the soil. "We stay here for the night," Glia said, stepping onto the porch. "We gather our strength, because tomorrow we stop being the hunted." Thank you for returning. Please like and subscribe, and more chapters will be on the way. I write original stories and create an audio version for your listening pleasure. These stories are a work in progress, so subscribe and comment, and it will inspire me to keep the chapters coming. Thanks again for stopping by.